Galleries. Okay. So brides, moments, engagements, families, glamour. Okay, I don't know what moments means at all, and so I probably, as a bride, wouldn't click on it. So if it's something important, I would change that. Brides, I'm expecting to see, like, bridal shots, like, just of the bride before or after the wedding. Okay, yep, that looks what it is. Looks like what it is. I'm glad that this gallery is clickable. I kind of wish the other galleries were. Oh, that's beautiful. See, this is really, really strong connection right here with the eyes. See, the problem I'm seeing is you have a lot of shots like this, where it's the back of the dress, and that's beautiful. That's excellent if you're trying to get a traditional bride. But from what you told me before, it sounds like that's maybe not what you were looking for, so you really need to make up your mind, because this image, to me, says traditional. You're gonna spend a lot on that dress with daddy's money, and you should hire me to make sure that that dress and you look amazing. This image, to me, says, I'm all about the moments, about candidness, about you being comfortable. It's not about the little details. It's about just enjoying the moment. Those are two different, very different messages, and you haven't picked one of them. You need to pick one of them and run with it, because as a bride, I'm confused. Again, this is pretty traditional, beautiful lighting. I love it. Again, traditional, back of the dress. I think this is about the 5th picture of the back of a dress that I've seen. So again, this is all saying to be traditional, traditional, traditional. If traditional is what you're going for, that's awesome. You need to push that more. I would specifically take out this shot. The back of the dress is pretty blown out, so I can't really enjoy it like I'd like to. Judging from the rest of your work, I would assume that this one's pretty old in your lineup because of the visionette, which is usually something we do when we start out. At least, I don't know, that's what I did when I started out, so maybe I'm making assumptions, but this is not up to the rest of the standard of your work. I would remove it. This is beautiful. Again, the back of the dress. Love that. Very Mexican style over here. That's really pretty. Not as traditional. Back of the dress. See again, and this is a little bit more fashion forward, a little bit more modern. That's kind of traditional. Beautiful. Love that. Okay. I'm assuming that you must do a lot of these bridals. Where I'm at in Michigan, we don't really do them. We'll just take a few pictures of the bride on the wedding day, or we might do a trash the dress with the bride and groom later. So I don't really have much advice to give on this specifically. It tends to be pretty regional. I think once you get in the South, this is a huge, huge deal. So you might have to think differently as far as what you show here versus what you would show in a wedding gallery per se. So maybe all those pictures of the back of the dress is kind of what you have to show to book a bridal. I don't know. But to me, it was too much of the back of the dress. There's just no need for that. So I'll click on moments anyway because it's the next on the list, and I am anal that way. Whoa, this is a beautiful moment, but it's really tilty. I feel a little bit dizzy. Okay, so these are like more candid shots. See, these are this to me feels like where you are more geared toward. Like, to me, it feels like this. See, that's awesome. That is a picture you could lead with. But see, now this is all biased because this is the style that I personally like. If I were looking for a photographer, the candid stuff is what I would look for. So these all make me say, yes, this is what I want. And up until now on your whole website, I was kind of like, meh. Like, you do good work, but nothing about your site made me say, yes, that's what I want, until here. Because this is a very definitive style. Either people like it or they don't. That pretty picture of the bride looking up into the camera with her dress holding the flowers, that's traditional. Of course, everybody thinks that's pretty, but nobody's going to jump up out of their seat and go, yeah, that's what I want. Because anybody who's fairly good with a camera probably takes a shot like that and has a shot like that in their portfolio. Stuff like this is what makes you, you. If you want to pursue this style, then you need to be pushing these photos toward the front of your website. If you don't, then you need to remove them because people are going to think that that's what they're getting. I don't see a lot of these shots here, so if this is the style that you want to continue with and the brides you want to book, you need to be pushing these suckers out there. engagements. I'm trying to resist my desire to go check Facebook. Aww, he's cute. Oh, okay, I thought for a second that this was a wedding, and I was like, I feel like this belongs in the Moments one, but that's awesome. See, all of these pictures all say to me, I'm fun, I'm modern, I'm about candidness and comfortableness, and see, this is just a totally, totally different feeling from the rest of those images on your site. The first few images that you showed me when you came to your site are nothing like this. So I'm completely confused. And if I would have left after seeing those first few images, I would have really missed out, because this is all a completely different style. You gotta pick one and run with it, girl. Okay. Families. Do. I hope that the recording is still working. It looks like it is. Oh. Okay, so a little bit of traditional, a little bit of not traditional. I would take this one out, with the exception of this girl. They're all looking like they're in pain. This girl's crying, that kid's crying. It's just, it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. That's cute. Cute, cute, cute. Your family stuff is a little bit more traditional, which I would expect with families. You generally can't get too modern with them. This is beautiful. Love that. Aww. Okay. Yeah, you seem... I don't know if I would... Well, I don't know. That's cute. I do like it. You seem to really have a lot of really fun, candid stuff, and then what you promote on the front is really traditional. So it's just... Again, I just keep coming back to you're sending really confusing messages. If you try to appeal to everyone, you just won't appeal to anyone. Glamour shots. Ooh, I like her dress. If this is all, okay, this is all the same girl, I would probably take this gallery out. Because what that tells me is, oh, see, here's somebody else. The first few images, that many images being the same girl, tells me she's only done one glamour thing and she's looking for more clients. That doesn't say to me, she is an awesome glamour photographer and I'm going to look amazing. So what I would do is take out at least 3, maybe 4 of those and get quicker to the other subjects, because probably most clients are not clicking as far as I am. Beautiful. I would remove that one. Just not much of a connection. Love that one. Yep, beautiful. Just a little bit too many pictures of the same subject. Just remember, most people are not going to click beyond 5 or 6 shots. So either mix them up more or take out some of the ones of the same people. Okay, so kudos, I'm assuming, is like people talking about how good you are. Yep, looks good. Psychologically, you will get way more traction for your testimonials if you have images here. It's been proven with the way that our brains are hotwired that even if the picture has nothing to do with what we're reading, we are more likely to believe that what we're reading is honest and trustworthy when there's a picture there. So that's especially good for us as photographers because we have lots of pictures at our disposal. So if you can, I would add an image from each one of these couples with their testimonial just above it or something like that. And I would perhaps even make that image be a button to go to that blog post or that gallery so that you could have something in the corner of that image just added in Photoshop that says click here to see their pictures or something like that. Even if people don't do it, it gives it more weight to the testimonials because it feels like it's more open, like you're introducing us to this person who's telling me all these good things. I'm not going to read these because obviously the wording is up to your clients. It's not something you can change, but it's good that you have that many of them. That's wonderful. Vendors. Okay, so these are recommended vendors. I wish you could put recommended vendors, but I get the feeling that you probably can't fit it in this menu if this is cut off. So vendors, it should be fine. Okay, this is clickable, but it doesn't look clickable. I don't know if that's a thing with this particular website. I would try to make it look clickable if possible, and again, you need a picture here. If you've worked with her, show us what her work looks like, because it gives you more credibility. Also, I would not do the @ sign. I would do Jen with Fabulous Events or something like that. If you have time, it's cool if you can write a little blurb, but again, that's not a huge deal. Again, I would show images here. Vendors are a really great way to get more bookings, to be honest with you, or even just to open up your possibilities in the industry. So one of the things that I want to work on in the next year is offering free headshot sessions to the vendors that I prefer. So I'll basically have them come to me and then take images for their own sites or whatever of just them, 10-15 minutes at most. And then I will put those on my site in my recommended vendors list that I have yet to make. That's all on the list for this year. But anyway, when you show an image, it makes it a lot more useful to your bride, and it also makes it look a lot more credible. This just doesn't, it feels kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't feel professional to me to have just a list here, especially because there's so much space in between them, but then there's not a lot of space between these two. It just doesn't feel very well put together or well thought of. So I would recommend either writing a small blurb about why you like that particular person, or putting in a picture, or maybe even just, like, for example, with the makeup artist saying, and here's the bride that Carmen did, and here's the bride that Christy did. I know it feels like you're doing a lot of work for someone else's business, but in my experience, that work comes back to help your business. It also serves to make you look more credible to the bride. So I'm assuming that all of these kind of look the same. Just make sure that they're all clickable. Again, I would just have images everywhere here. Just images, images. And see here, you have a nice description. You also need an image, but I would do something similar with the other places as well. Yep, same advice. Okay, so here's the contact button. This, I really wish this wasn't cut off. I get the feeling that this is probably not something you can choose. It's probably whatever template site you're using is pretty limited, so I guess I wouldn't worry about it too much, but just, usually get back to, I wish you could just have a little bit more space here, but I am glad to see that you have your email address here and your phone number. That's definitely really good. Be sure that you test this contact monthly, at least, because they will break from time to time, and nothing sucks more than and finding out like months later that all these people have been trying to message you. It has happened to me, and it is the worst. So just make sure you test it. I like that you have when you need us, how you found us, all that. That's good. Some people will say to have the email part twice, just in case they type it wrong and you can't figure out what it was supposed to be. But I wouldn't worry about that too much because you have the phone option here, so that should be okay. Articles, so is that like news? Oh, wedding planning articles. Okay, that's not what I would have expected, like, at all. Are these other people's? Oh, okay, these are other people's articles. But some of them are your articles. Okay, this is really confusing, and seeing the word articles, I would not have guessed that that's what this is, like, at all. So what I would recommend is make it a subcategory of information, and then just put wedding planning articles, or helpful articles, or something that makes me understand what this is. But I would definitely put it under the information tab. And that would give you more room on your menu, so this isn't cut off. Slideshows. Huh. Okay, so you have slideshows of different weddings. Again, this is kind of confusing. What I would do is put that under galleries. Maybe name it wedding slideshows or something like that. I'm guessing that what this is slideshows of a wedding, like the best images from start to finish, which is really, really, really good, but over here in this tab, nobody's gonna know what this is. So I would put this in here as wedding slideshows.